What is up, Yankee fans? I'm Ryan from Fireside Yankees here for our post-game show. If you're here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to check out Fireside Yankees right here on our YouTube page. We have other social media platforms, including Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and, of course, this YouTube page. Links to everything are in the descriptions, and check out EmpireSportsMedia.com for written coverage on the Yankees and all of your favorite New York sports teams. With that out of the way, let's get started talking about the Yankees' 9-3 victory over the Astros. And unlike regular season post-game shows where we can draw conclusions and kind of talk about the importance of the win, etc., we're more so looking for observations, things that stand out in small sample sizes or stabilize pretty quickly in small sample sizes, because it's going to be really hard to draw any significant conclusions on a game where it's spring training, teams aren't throwing out their best lineups, etc. With that being said, though, the Yankees had right-handed pitcher Cam Schultler take the ball today. He is a prospect in the Yankee organization, and he has a bumpy outing. He had his first 2 innings look pretty crisp with 2 strikeouts and no walks, but he walked 3 hitters and allowed a hit in the 3rd inning. He was pulled in that 3rd inning because his pitch count got way up. I was impressed with the fastball velocity and shape. I thought everything looked crisp in terms of pitch quality scores, but he kind of fell apart at the end. His command didn't look sharp. He was kind of leaving everything up. And when you start leaving pitches up, you start kind of getting erratic. I mean, your breaking balls aren't going to really be effective when left up. Those pitches are going to get rocked. The fastball was staying up and out of the zone. Hitters correctly identified that Schultler had lost the zone and became far more patient against the right-hander. But again, I still think that he has the stuff and the upside to be a quality big league starter. This is someone with limited experience in Double-A. Another one of those prospects who were affected by the COVID pandemic, as he didn't have enough collegiate experience as most college prospects would have. I'm still extremely excited to see him pitch again in spring training if he does, and if this is his last outing before being sent down to minor league camp, I'm really excited to see him pitch in Double-A with the Somerset Patriots. Following him was Yerry De Los Santos, who came into the game and, with bases loaded and 1 out, trying to clean up Cam Schultler's mess, he took just 2 pitches to coax an inning-ending double play. He picked up a strikeout in his next inning of work, completing 1 2/3 innings of work with 1 strikeout, no walks, and no hits. He's on the Yankee 40-man roster, has a very, very devastating splitter, and possesses that sharp sinker that can coax a lot of ground balls. I expect him to be in the bullpen conversation because he has minor league options, and I think the Yankees hold him in a decently high regard. Moving on to Yendrys Gomez, he's another name who's in that bullpen conversation. He had a little bit of a rougher day, as while he didn't allow any runs, he only got to face 3 batters. As he got 2 outs, he needed 20-plus pitches to get those 3 batters, or get through those 3 batters, and it was really his final at-bat where, the opposing hitter was just fouling pitch after pitch after pitch, and Gomez was unable to put them away. His stuff did look good, though. His fastball velocity was there. Sweeper movement looked sharp. I overall think Yendrys Gomez has looked better in camp, velocity-wise, than he did last year. And if his fastball is sitting at around 94 miles an hour, I wouldn't be stunned to see the Yankees either A, roster him on opening day, or get a trade suitor who's willing to pick him up and take on the flyer. This is still a young pitcher who has upside, and in a multi-inning bullpen role, I think it could be extremely valuable to an organization. Coming in after him was Mason Vineyard to finish out that inning. He picked up 1 out. He only faced 1 batter. Rob Zastrimsky came in. He faced 3 batters. He got 3 outs. Leonardo Pestana came in. He allowed a run, got a strikeout, faced 4 batters, got out of the inning. And then Kelvin Castro also allowed a run, pitched an inning and a third, got into a jam in the 9th inning, and then the Yankees called in Edgar Barclay, who finished the game off, got 2 outs, one of them being a strikeout. Overall, wasn't the best pitching day in the world for the Yankees. He had 6 walks and 7 strikeouts with 3 runs allowed. But again, it's spring training, and having guys who aren't necessarily 100% command-wise isn't the most surprising thing on March 1st. We still got time to go for these guys to refine and regroup and get things together command-wise. And a lot of these guys aren't considered A-tier pitchers. I'd be shocked if more than one of these guys made the Major League roster to start the 2025 season. So Yankees didn't bring their A game pitching wise, and that's because they didn't bring their A group in terms of their best arms, their premium bullpen guys, the guys who are locks to make the roster, guys who are slated to be in the rotation. So these are more fringe guys, prospects, NRIs who are trying to hope and get some film out there so that either A, they can be assigned to AAA and pitch well and get back to the big leagues, or B, get some film that other teams can look at and potentially either A, pluck them when they have an opt-out in their deal, or ask the Yankees for a trade. Now, looking at the lineup, the Yankees had quite the impressive offensive performance. They put up 9 runs on 9 hits. They only walked once today and struck out 14 times, but they really had the long ball going. They hit 3 home runs, including a grand slam from prospect Cole Gabrielson. But I think the most important home run came with their first home run they hit, the first run they put on the board in a 3-run third inning. They gave them a lead they didn't relinquish. George Lombard Jr., the Yankees' top shortstop prospect, hit a absolute nuke to left center field. It traveled over 410 feet. He hit it at a 108.4 mile per hour exit velocity. I thought it was a really impressive smack. It was a great barrel. It was one of those swings that helps you understand why the Yankees view him in such a high regard. He is one of the best prospects in the organization. He is someone that is held to a high standard, not just internally by the Yankees, but by a lot of people in the baseball industry. Baseball America recently dropped their top 100 prospects, and one of the players in which they received a lot of industry feedback on was George Lombard Jr. The industry felt as if George Lombard Jr. should be higher on the list, or that he was someone that is going to pop on that list at some point in 2025. I'm personally extremely excited to see him play. The Yankees had him start at third base. If Anthony Volpe remains a shortstop of the future, which I think he will be based on his defensive abilities, Lombard Jr. is a natural fit at third base due to his size and arm strength. The next home run hit by the Yankees came from catcher Ben Rice, who is battling for a DH spot, which we'll talk about in a bit, with Giancarlo Stanton going on the IL, and he's also battling for the backup catcher job. I thought that Rice has looked really good in spring training offensively. His home run today was hit 113.3 miles an hour. It is by far the hardest hit ball tracked by any StatCast, tracking machine, or basically any tracked ball at the pro level by a considerable margin, as he hit his hardest hit ball of his career last week against the Minnesota Twins. So 2 of his hardest hit balls, or the 2 hardest hit balls he's ever hit at the pro level, have come in spring training. I think the gains made to his muscles are going to play into how he plays this season. The process at the plate is phenomenal. The ability to do damage on contact is phenomenal. The plate recognition, the plate skills, the ability to make contact, those skills are all there. It was just a matter of getting some of those warning track fly balls to leave the yard. And if Ben Rice has that 113 mile per hour kind of power in his back pocket, this is a guy who could have a really prominent 2025, or really prominent role on the 2025 team and have a really successful year. The Yankees, again, love this guy. They think he's the goods, and I happen to agree. I really do like Ben Rice. Aaron Judge had a 2 RBI double today in his debut. He was obviously a big storyline because this was his first game of spring training. He looked healthy. He looked sharp. He looked fresh. Josh Chisholm had a double down the line, which was super cool to see. You had someone like a lot of prospects, honestly. You had Jesus Rodriguez deliver an RBI single. Omar Martinez delivered a double. We talked about the grand slam from Cole Gabrielson that kind of broke this game open in the 7th inning. And so, yeah, I mean, a lot of RBIs from a lot of young players, which is always encouraging. The other player who made their spring training debut was DJ LeMahieu. He did not look very good. He had a strikeout. He had a fly out. I mean, it's spring training. I'm not going to say that the reason I don't believe in him is because he struggled in 2 at-bats, but I just already have the preconceived notion that he is not going to have a good 2025 season. So he'll have to really do a lot in the regular season to prove me wrong on that front. I think a lot of Yankee fans feel the same way. In regards to not news that do not relate specifically to this game, but definitely matter because they came out during the game, it is that the Yankees will be placing Giancarlo Stanton on the IL. Now, here's the situation. He received PRP injections in New York City while dealing with a personal matter. Yankees PR is describing the injury as a tennis elbow issue. Stanton went to New York City to deal with the personal matter, also met with team physician Chris Ahmad. It seems his reason for going to New York City was the personal matter, and that seeing Chris Ahmad in New York City was just something he knew he could do that now that he was in New York. Chris Ahmad, again, is the team physician. He is a well-respected doctor in the sports world and just kind of in the world in general. Anytime you're a team physician for an organization as prestigious as the New York Yankees, you're going to be considered one of the top guys in your field, and especially in the medical field. It is a competitive business. It is a competitive field. You do not just get to show up and show out and then you become a top doctor. He is creme de la creme at what he does. And so, hearing that he's only going to get PRP injections is sneakily a positive for the Yankees. It's not good that he's going to start the year on the IL, but it could also have been a lot worse. And Alex and I are kind of talking about it on the podcast a week ago, where we said there are not good outcomes, and not good would be Stanton being hurt. And then there are outcomes that you can live with. And this is one of those outcomes the Yankees could potentially live with if it's PRP injections, rest, and then a return to the team. That being said, we don't have a timeline or a known timeline for Giancarlo Stanton. We'll have to see how he recovers from the PRP injections, how his elbows recover. Does the pain subside? Can he get to a point where he can swing in game and feel comfortable? Those are all very real questions that Giancarlo Stanton's going to have to answer over the next few weeks. He's expected to return to Tampa with the team in the coming weeks, so we'll get to see him in the next few days. I mean, it's unclear when that return date is, but he's expected to come back this week. Again, that personal matter, don't want to speculate on it at all because it's just not our business. If he's okay, then that's all I care about. So there's that. The DH spot being open does definitely benefit someone like Ben Rice, who I think is going to end up winning that job. I would like to see the Yankees bring in some right-handed hitting, whether it's for the bench or at third base. I personally think the Yankees have more pressure than ever to add a third baseman or add someone to work with Oswaldo Cabrera at third base, because without Giancarlo Stanton, they are in an extremely awkward position, especially against left-handed pitching. So with that being said, that recaps our spring training post-game show. We've gotten through the Giancarlo Stanton injury news, so we want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Talk to us again in the comment section or tweet at us on Twitter. Comment under our Instagram post. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on TikTok. And, of course, check us out on this YouTube page. You can check me out at Ryan Garcia ESM on Twitter. We appreciate you guys sticking through to the end of today's video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go Yankees. Peace out.